It means.
They keep jamming today. Keep jamming.
You know what I think we should do?
Yeah?
I think we should start playing songs and make sure that they're playing before we go to
No,
a
I
song.
always do that, but the problem is it's loading. Yeah.
It's still like how it was.
Ish. But we'll be fine.
Yeah, but make sure we go to theater.
Asitrepte ke pina tsa ko kasi sa tlhokime tsa karasi ko poncheke le dipiri tsa malasi se pedinyana ke tle ke tse babalasa show me who monate show me who monate show me who monate show me who monate hey asitrepte ke pina tsa ko kasi sa tlhokime tsa karasi ko poncheke le dipiri tsa malasi se pedinyana ke tle ke tse babalasa show me who monate
We're live.
Clean version.
Wakumutseka ikokota le piano amazi. Respectable. Hoyza. Hoyza.
Hey,
What is a lot of time? What is a lot of time?
maphorisa nisize ngikhuluma iqiniso iyo le ngoma siyafuna hoyza hoyza
Welcome everybody back to the Heat section. I'm your host, Utobeka Ntobo, and I'm with my co-host every day, Lucky Selepe.
Lucky, good morning, beautiful people. How are you doing this morning? My name is Lucky Selepe, and I'm with the beautiful, the lovely, the melanated Tobeka. We're going to be with you up until 11 o'clock. Welcome to the capital city of entertainment, Q Lit. This is the Heat section. We're getting heated up, and today we're going to be talking about a lot. And we're going to be talking about strikes, student strikes.
Heated strikes.
Yo, wow. Student strikes have...
advantages. So I want you guys to make sure that you stay tuned for today.
Yes. Student strikes have given us a lot, though. They've given us a lot, as much as they have also disadvantaged us in so many ways. So we're going to be discussing a lot about student strikes, the history of student strikes, the advantages, the disadvantages, the impact it has had on our country, and how important it has been, for our democracy to function, and function well. And the time is 9:21. You're still chilling with us on the Heat section. I'd like to give thanks to the previous show, Uneo and Letun Jabulo, the Coffee Brew Breakfast Show. They give us a wonderful show. So thank you guys. And I'd like to thank the news team for the news update. It was very informative. Thank you very much. Those people that know that they are doing first year or they are PGCE students must report for their academic program tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. It's Wednesday today. Hi, boo. Hi.
He's going very slow.
It's Wednesday. Oh my God, it's Wednesday. Oh my word. Okay, so yeah, PGCE students and first year students report for their academic program on Thursday, and returning students, senior students report for their academic program on Monday. Don't forget to hit us up on our social media links.
Twitter at Q_Let_radio, Insta Q_Let_radio, and Facebook Q-Lit.
Yep. And you can also hit us up on our WhatsApp 0717053043. I repeat, 0717053043. That's where you can drop your voice notes, make them under 30 seconds, and make sure that they do not have any inappropriate language, because they will not be played on air. The question for today's first segment is, do you think that protesting by students can be a good thing? If so, how so? If not, why not? So do interact with us on social media and let us know. Do you think protesting can be a good thing or not? Is it a good thing?
Is it? Make
Well,
sure to stay tuned.
That's not our call to make. It's your call to make. The show is driven by you. Sure. Give us your comments in the social media section and tell us, is it a good thing? Is it not a good thing? But for now, we're going to jam because we got great conversation and great music. So be sure to tune in up until 11 o'clock. We are the capital city of entertainment. It is Lucky and Tobeka for you on the Heat section. So you don't want to miss anything. Do they want to miss out?
True. And before we actually go to the song, I want to do shout-outs.
Yes.
And birthdays.
Yep. I'm a birthday shout-outs. How can I forget that?
Guys, you actually are more than welcome to send through your birthday shout-outs to our pages, our social media pages.
We can read them on air.
Yeah.
If you send a voice note, we can play it on air. If you are celebrating a birthday today, you're celebrating with Charles Darwin, who's the father of evolution.
Yes.
Everything we learned in life science back in high school, most of it was researched, and he was researched by him, and he was the pioneer of the subject.
Then I don't know.
I don't know. You were not paying attention. You were not paying attention in your life science class. And you're also celebrating a birthday with Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president of America, who was assassinated. He was the first in a wave of assassinations back in the 20th century, where, assassinations were the new way of making sure that things go a certain way, and movements were formed, rebels and whatnot. I'm a political person, so I'm not even gonna go there.
I'm
anyway,
more of a social media person. Gucci Mane today, the rapper, pioneer of rap. Yes. So you're also celebrating your birthday with a Gucci Mane.
I can't believe he's 39 though.
What?
I thought he was younger.
Hey.
I mean, like.
Hey, it speaks about.
In fact, no, he's 40. He was born in 1980. Yes, 40. Wow, he's old.
But yeah.
And we're still jamming to him. Wow, that's awesome. That's very awesome. That's amazing. Anyway, here's a song for you. We about to jam, y'all. We about to jam.
It's legendary.
Oh, we. Sing-senga, konyagi. Sing-senga, konyagi.
Yeah. It's fine. We just don't want it to be here.
Sing
Baby girl, come here. Oh, and I'll also read an article that spoke about one that introduces us to the history of after this, because there's not a lot here.
Featuring DJ Tira, the remix.
Yep. The remix. DJ Tira is everywhere. He's a veteran.
I feel like DJ Tira gives so many people platforms to actually,
to actually advance their talents and whatnot. Yeah. That's amazing. You're still chilling us. Anyway, you're still chilling with us on the Heat Section. This is the capital city of entertainment. We're going to be with you up until 11 o'clock. Today we're talking all things to student protests, the history of student protests, the advantages and disadvantages of student protests, and all of that. So be sure to give us your thoughts on social media, on our social media platforms, what you think of protests. Our question today is, do you think protesting by students can be a good thing? If so, how so? If not, why not? Be sure to interact with us on social media. But for now, though, I would like to read some notifications by Ndade Thabo Kesa, the communications officer of our campus. He sent through an email. I think it was yesterday. I'm reading it right now. It spoke about NSFAS. It outlines everything: book allowances, meal allowances, private accommodation allowances. So if you're still unsure about how they're going to be allocated and all of that, you can just head to your emails and check. Thabo Kesa has your back. And he also speaks about the commencements of the 2020 academic program. It was covered in the news. The breakfast team spoke about it, and Natila at the Heat Section, we're also talking about it. So if you're a first year PGCE student, you are starting your academic program tomorrow. If you're a returning senior student, you are starting your academic program on Monday. What else did he share? Oh, he also shared that peer educator application yesterday at the Health and Wellness Center, the campus clinic.
We also have
Kofsigia. Yes.
Kofsigia is also they want you to send your CVs. Today is the last day.
Yeah.
So guys, make sure if you want to get those opportunities for enhancing your CV, as we've been speaking about.
Yes, and marketing yourself.
Kofsigia is open for you now.
Yeah, and it's closing
today.
And I think it's a wonderful opportunity. You get to interact with people. You get to see how merchandise works and all of that. Experience. Oh, and also today, something that I forgot to mention. It's a bit of a depressing subject, but I'll mention it anyway. Today is Red Hand Day. I guess that the use of child soldiers by the United Nations. It's a day that is allocated by the United Nations for fighting the use of child soldiers in wars and civil wars, in all of these political fights. They want to make sure that soldiers, everyone who is in the army, is in the army because they want to be in the army, and more importantly, because they're over the age of 18, you know. And I think that's something that's very important. It's very important indeed. It's something that I think African countries need to stop doing. Because when I was doing research on this earlier on, of course I can't go into all of it, but yeah, I saw that an awful lot of countries in the Middle East and North Africa are using child soldiers in their wars and all of that, and it's heartbreaking because these children end up so traumatized. They need rehabilitation. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot. So today is the day. So if you are a fan of being in the military, or you know someone who's in the military or want to be in the military,
we're celebrating them today.
We're celebrating them today. So yeah. Anyway, anywho, it's still the capital city of entertainment. We are live for you, talking about student protesting and its impact and why they're so important, you know, the student protests. And I've got an article here that was published not so long ago. I'm gonna dabble a bit into the article here and there. It says, student protests in democratic South Africa. It says, South Africa has a long history of student protests, going back to the anti-apartheid marches that predated South Africa's democracy. We're talking 1976, we're talking the Sharpeville March, we're talking a lot of things that happened in the apartheid era that led us where we are. Anyway, since 1994, when democracy was established, South African students have had their own struggles. In recent years, there has been a wave of student protests, and these student protests have also been associated with police brutality, unfortunately, because most of these student protests often got violent and out of control. And one thing that these student protests have in common is the National Student Financial Aid Scheme, NSFAS, you know, because most students feel like they're robbed and whatnot. Remember the Fees Must Fall movement back in 2016, 2017. I mean, it led us here. Before today, if you were a student in like 2015, 14, you had to pay your NSFAS bursary. It was a loan. It wasn't even a bursary then. It was a loan.
Actually, I have a, it's not a bursary, it's a loan. For me.
Yeah, it's a loan, and unless you pass a certain way, it will remain a loan. But the nice thing is that if you pass well, it can turn into a bursary, and a portion of it you would have to pay back.
I don't know. I think I'm going to find out whenever.
Yeah, you know, it goes back to what we were talking about, going to these offices on campus, financial aid office, finance, academic advising. They've got more information about this than we do, so be sure to check them out if you're unsure about anything. But the Fees Must Fall movement is one of those, you know, revolutionary movements that came from protesting. I mean, the fall of apartheid and its oppressive laws. These are just things that have been happening that changed our country as we know it. And now we have the water protest happening in the area.
Like a year does not end without a protest going on.
Yeah,
like, look at specifically our campus. Last year we had a march for Amgelani gone missing. It was a march. Peaceful march.
It was supposed to be peaceful, and then it turned into a strike. There were hippos everywhere, tear gas, I think rubber bullets somewhere. It was just awful. And then there was that time when people, they went into the dining hall, guys. The Kopano dining hall.
I feel like sometimes people take strikes as selfish. They do it for selfish reasons, not because some people are like, no, we're going to continue striking because I don't want to go back to school. Maybe I have an exam to go back to, and they're like, you know what, let's extend this whole thing, and you know, bail out.
Yeah, it is heartbreaking. I don't want to lie. It is heartbreaking, as much as is our constitutional right to strike. But there are limitations and there are rules surrounding that, you know, constitutional right of striking. So that's why we're going to go into that after we play our couple of songs, you know, because we got great conversation, we got great music. Don't forget that the HWC, Health and Awareness Clinic, has a post out, you know. I forgot to go a bit into that. You'll be dealing with the gender-based violence, LGBTQI issues, and health issues if you choose to apply for the post. They're giving out forms at the clinic. Just go to the campus clinic and they'll tell you more about the post. Way more than we ever could tell you. But good morning, beautiful people. Wake up. We're coming to you live from Tabadi Matra, Tabadi Muhudi. So enjoy yourself. Have a good morning. Here's a good song for you.
In your cypress, the best thing in the world. Never change for anybody else. Every brown skin girl. The skin your cypress, the best thing
anybody else singing.
She says she really grew up poor like me. Don't believe in nothing but the Almighty. Just a little jeans and a pure white tee. She never do ever be nobody wifey. She don't mean everything but your heart is a me. Now you like a villain cause she caught in a way. Tonight I am walking away. Light up my mind and I grind, yeah. Tonight I might fall in love, depending on how you hold me. I'm glad that I'm coming down. Don't let no one come control me. Keep dancing and call it love. She fights it by falling slowly. If ever you are in doubt, remember what mama told me. Brown skin girl, that skin just like pearls. Your back against the world. I never trade you for anybody else. A brown skin girl, that skin just like
Love our show. Oh my God, they love our show.
sitting on the world. I never trade you for anybody else.
Like a trophy when Naomi's walking. She didn't ask her for the pretty dark skin. Pretty like Lupita when the camera's closing. Uncle Evan when my Kelly's rolling. I think tonight she might pray her pray. Melanin too dark to call her shade. She minds her business and winds her ways. Boy, like 24K. Okay.
Tonight I might fall in love, depending on how you hold me. I'm glad that I'm calming down. Can't let no one come control me. Keep dancing and call it love. She's fighting but falling slowly. If ever you are in doubt, remember what mama told me.
Take us back.
Brown skin girl, that skin just like pearls. Your back against the world. I never trade you for anybody else. A brown skin girl, that skin just like pearls. The best thing in the world.
This should take us to the
Trade you
hour.
for anybody else.
You looked in the mirror
Till
lately.
like, I think around
You
10
could trade eyes with me
Then
because
other songs and then
complexities and complexion. But your skin is glow like diamonds. Hit me like the earth, you be giving back to everything alive, baby, know your worth. I love everything about you from your nappy curls to every single curve, your body natural. Same skin that was broken, me, same skin taking over. Things out of focus, you, but when you're in the room, they notice you. 'Cause you're beautiful. Yeah, you're beautiful. Them gon' fall in love with you in all of your glory. Your skin is not only dark, it shines and it tells your story. Keep dancing, they can't control you. They watching, they all adore you. If ever you are in doubt, remember what mama told you. Brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. Your back against the world. I never trade you for anybody else. Brown skin girl, your skin just like
There goes nothing.
pearls. The best thing in the world. I never trade you for anybody else.
Skin just like
the best thing in the world.
Girl. Yes, that was Beyonce featuring Saint with Brown Skin Girl.
Brown Skin Girl, and it's an important song. I remember last year it sparked a movement on Instagram and Twitter talking about colorism within the black community. You know,
Yeah.
Uguti, yellow bones are always favored more and are always given more
What
opportunities.
about us? Am I bad?
And then dark
Nah.
beauties are just always sidelines and are always in the back seat. And this song was important, especially since it came from a light-skinned girl, Beyonce, and her
Yeah.
light-skinned daughter, Blue Ivy. So it was such an important song. And I
Big ups,
remember
Beyonce.
Ushoma Josie once published a thread on her Twitter talking about how she recognizes that in the industry there is colorism, and that she has made it to certain places that she knows she couldn't have made if she was darker skinned.
Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
as someone who's mixed because her father's like white, she spoke about this openly and said that she sympathizes with the people that have to be sidelined because of their complexion, and she thinks that a conversation needs to be had within the black community about colorism, because when you're growing up, our parents do this though. You'll find that the darker skinned ones are like Bomantu or Odaki. They give you like these demeaning names, and then the lighter skinned ones are told, "Oh, you're so beautiful, you're pretty," and then it leads to a lot of self-esteem issues and whatnot.
Even if guys post what you call it? What do they call it? My yellow bow.
Yellow bow.
Yeah, funny yellow bow.
So give the dark beauties the love they deserve. Oh, Lupita Nyong'o. We're talking Viola Davis. Even Kerry Washington is a bit on the dark side, and she's beautiful. She's gorgeous. Not Olivia. What's her name? Octavia Spencer.
Yeah.
And there's so many people now that are in Hollywood, and they're making the things happen. I mean, Joker is a black person. Joker. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Yeah, but this guy was in the new Joker movie, and he won an Oscar. Mr. Phoenix, that's his surname. I don't know how to pronounce his first name, but he won an Oscar, and he also spoke about how Hollywood is sort of discriminatory towards the black community and whatnot. I didn't listen to the entire thing, but it was amazing. You're still chilling with us on the capital city of entertainment. This is the hate section with Utiala Nolaki. Not Lucky and Tobeka. Guys, my first name. I love my first name, and I end up saying it at random places in G. Yeah, with Tobeka. Yes, up until 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. Yes. We're going to be talking about student protests, and before we went into the beautiful song by Beyonce, we spoke a bit about, the history of student protests, Fees Must Fall, and how they shaped the apartheid era and eventually ended it. And now I think we must delve into protesting as a right.
Yeah.
We know that it is a right, and most of us are quick to say, no, it's my right to strike. I have the right to strike.
Do you know the details of striking?
And you often don't know the implications of striking. So we're going to delve a bit into that and talk about the right of protesting and what its implications, its responsibilities are. Because remember, the Bill of Rights in South Africa has responsibilities. Every right has a responsibility. And the right to protest appears in Section 17 of the Constitution, and the right to protest is a vital way for people to speak out about issues that matter to them and make sure that people in power listen to their concerns and are responsive. Section 17 of the Constitution says that everybody has the right to protest. And there's a catch.
Yeah, there's a butt coming.
But anyway, it says everyone has the right to protest peacefully and unarmed. We are highlighting this section, people.
Unarmed.
Peacefully and unarmed. Most people seem to not, pay attention to this part where it says peacefully and unarmed. You find that people are looting shops and whatnot.
I don't get that. I don't get, if I'm going to be part of your strike and I have a small tuck shop near, why come and loot my shop when he's Zamel and
I'm not in leadership. I have nothing to do with what you're fighting for.
Yeah.
So why are you looting my shop? Why are you taking your selfish agendas onto me? Why are you projecting them onto me?
Why am I being caught up?
Why am I suffering for trying to make a life for myself? Because by the way, before we go back to the topic, the unemployment rate of South Africa is 29.1%. It is not moving. It is there. It's not moving.
It's just
not going up, not going down. It's just there. And that's very bad because it's very high. It's very high. I think the last time we had a higher unemployment rate was in 2008 during the recession and whatnot, under the Mbeki administration. Yeah. And now we have unemployment. There's a lot of unemployment in our country. That is just something that is not addressed. So you find that these unemployed civilians often take advantage of a strike to provide for themselves because, truth be told, they do not have jobs. And sometimes when you start a business, it ends up getting looted. I mean, it's not the fault of the business owners, but I'm saying that's where it comes from, because we are products of such a nasty past, The apartheid era, its legacy lingers on into a new democracy, and that's just awful. So let us delve more into, the cautionary parts of striking, the buts, the things you should be doing, and how to do it right, how to protest the right way, By the way, we're reading from a pamphlet by The Right to Know, the people, an organization that simplify things for us, students, and whatnot. Anyway, I'm just gonna head into the regulation of the Gatherings Act, which is the act that governs the right to protest. It is the law that regulates the right to protest, and it's called the Regulation of Gatherings Act. It was drafted in 1993 in a period of great political violence during the civil war between Zulus and Xhosas and whatnot, like towards the end of apartheid. And the Goldstone Commission, which investigated political violence and police brutality, which is something we're going to delve into later, against protesters, recommended that a law be drafted to establish a new framework for the right to protest and change the role of police in protests, because we know that police play an extensive role in protests.
They have like
So,
mediators of protests.
this is called the Regulation of the Gatherings Act. But
Yeah.
what is a gathering? Let us go into what a gathering is. A gathering, the word gathering, has a specific meaning. It is a march, picket, or parade of 16 or more people in any public space that expresses any form of contestation. Yeah. And is critical towards any person, company, or governing body. I'll repeat. It is a march, picket, parade of 16 people, 16 or more people. Nothing less, 16 or more people.
That's when it becomes
a gathering, you know. In any public space that expresses any form of contestation and is critical towards any person, company, or governing body. A gathering requires prior notification.
Getting onto prior notification.
I wish I had a hard copy of this so that I could
Yeah.
highlight prior notification. You can't just take to the streets and protest for no good reason.
Yeah, this act, according to the act, it says that you need to at least notify the municipality or the authorities at least 7 calendar days before the protest. When 7 days is not possible, you can give less than 7 days notice, but you must also give reasons why it is late. But you must give at least 48 hours notice.
Yes, you must give a notice.
And how you give notice is the governor
How you give a notice? The governor.
of the protest must fill out a form called Notice Under
Yeah, the
Regulation of
governor.
Gatherings Act and give it to the local authority. The notice form should be available at all municipality offices. You should be able to email, fax, or hand it in.
Yeah, so if they tell you that it's not available, it's a violation of your right.
True.
But you
so
know,
they can literally arrest you for violating.
you know,
the-
this section.
Yeah.
This very, I want to go back, prior notification. You can't just protest.
It's not like today I'm gonna wake up. Okay, you know what? I'm not happy.
You're
about
taken to
what
the
is happening
streets.
right now
You
in
don't want to go to
municipality.
school or work.
Yeah.
You're just gonna take to the streets and fight everybody and be angry and sing Zabalaza songs.
So in order for your strike or your march to be,
Successful.
Legal, yeah.
and legal. Mm-hmm.
you need to inform authorities 7 calendar days before, or at least 48 hours before that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And after you give notice, they will give back to you as the municipality. And if they don't get back to you under 7 working days, that is, and it happens that it puts you in a difficult position,
Yeah.
there are things that can be followed. Let me just zoom in here. You know, Tina.
It's one. There has been a meeting with the governors, and all efforts to negotiate a safe gathering has failed. And the governor gets written reasons for why the gathering can't go ahead. And the police or traffic police writes an affidavit swearing on oath that says that they have reasonable grounds to believe that your protest may endanger the safety of protesters or the public, cause bad damage to property, or badly disrupt traffic. So it doesn't mean that if you put notice to the authority that your march or your strike is going to be approved.
No, sometimes they can call a Section 4 meeting with you and talk to you as the leaders of the strike. And sometimes it doesn't even go to a strike. You know, an agreement gets reached in the Section 4 meeting, and it doesn't really have to go all the way to an actual protest.
Yeah.
You know, and there are rules for ending a gathering. It says here that when a gathering has taken place lawfully, by law, it must disperse at the time that the organizers said that it would. At the protest, if the police give an order to disperse, it is an offense to disobey them, and you may be arrested or forcefully dispersed, which is why you find that the police were using tear gas and rubber bullets during our strikes here on campus, because people refused to disperse when they were told to disperse, because they were now damaging property, they were turning over cars, it was a lot.
So they're forced to retaliate.
Yeah, so they were forced to retaliate. It is within their right.
Yeah.
So you must know all the governing laws of taking to the streets and actually being involved in a protest. There are so many rules here, but unfortunately we can't go into all of them. But yeah, the role of police is something that is very important at a protest. The reason why you must give notice is that the police have to contain it. It is within their
with
mandate.
no police, like there would be a lot of dead bodies.
Yeah, with no police, there would be a lot of dead bodies. We would have Sharpeville 2, we would have the Hector Petersons of the world getting injured, not even being involved in the strike, and that's heartbreaking. So we don't want that in our new democracy. We're almost 26 years into the new democracy. It's still pretty young, but yeah, I think we've come a long way.
Yeah, we've come a long way.
We've come a long way, and protests have played an important role in making sure that our country progresses throughout the time that we have been under democratic rule. Don't forget to interact with us on social media. Our social media links are Facebook Q-Lit, Twitter Q_Lit Radio, Instagram Q_Lit_Radio. Our question for today was, do you think protesting by students can be a good thing? If so, how so? If not, why not? So be sure to interact with us on our social media platforms. We've still got you with great music and entertainment because we're the capital city of entertainment. The hit section, we're about to get heated up. Here's a beautiful song jam for you. Yay, 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 yay. There's nothing. People don't want to talk about strikes. There's nothing yet. We were supposed to be reading the comments now, but there's nothing. I haven't checked Facebook. On Facebook, there's nothing as well.
She hasn't posted anything yet.
And Nicolette posted. People liked the post. No, there are no comments. They liked it, but no comments. I guess they don't want to implicate themselves. It's too hot.
we just gave you guys a double play with the Burner Boy with Yeah and DJ Maporisa featuring Gabs at the Smoke Coco. So guys, before we went on the little air break, we just received an email. Ne?
Yes, official communication.
Of Mr. Lihlohonolo Mokabi as Kwakwa CSRC President.
Woo!
So congratulations to Mr. Lihlohonolo Mokabi, officially as
the president, the head of all things, the one and only.
Congratulations.
Yeah, because we've got you here at the capital city of entertainment, with the hit section, we got you with the great music and all the information. So, congratulations to Lehlohonolo Mokabi as the SRC president. We hope that you will do the things that it takes for the things to be done.
Yes. Okay. So before we went on the little air break, we were talking about student protests.
Yes, student protesting. Yeah.
So legal steps following arrest. Now I'm going to tell you guys what happens to you if you are mixed up or if you got caught during a strike. So one, after being arrested, you are transported to the police station or processing center. And then step 2 is the identification process. So you're required to give your name and address. A police officer will take your fingerprints and you will be photographed.
Yes.
It gets
photographed. Oh my word.
Right. 3, holding cell. You may be put in a cell before you are charged. Then you go through the interrogation process of what happened and whatnot. And then step 3, you are going to a bail hearing. Bail hearings for me are the worst. I feel like they are the determining factor of whether you are set free.
And of your future,
back.
because I recall last year, a lot of people were called in to these bail hearings and whatnots last year that were involved and were caught in the, DH stealing fiasco and all of that. And it was terrifying because some people even got, excluded from the university, from studying and whatnot.
Yeah.
Most cases were resolved. And that's a great thing, by the way. But it was so scary, knowing that your future is in jeopardy and you were just acting on an, adrenaline
chips.
rush and you were just like, and then you still Amarashe and gay and the things happened.
Imagine
so
going through all that, having your picture taken a police station with those
mugshot
with your
guys, start practicing now. Face left, face right, face forward. I'm not encouraging you to do crime. You should not do crime. But if you want to look dapper, I know some people. There was actually a mugshot challenge trending on Twitter not so long ago, where people were actually practicing their mugshots. They're like, these people are testing me, and this is me practicing my mugshots. Like, duh.
I mean, I'm like I laugh a lot, so I feel like in my worst, I'll still be laughing.
Oh my god! And they'll be like, "Stop laughing!"
Even my ID photo, actually, I'm smiling in my eye. Who does that?
Oh my god, I was pissed on my ID photo. Can we not talk about our ID photos? Oh my god, can we not? But at the protest, there are several things that can happen. You must make sure that you have a copy of the notice form you submitted to the municipality and any other documents that you will need to prove that the protest is indeed legal. Make sure that marshals are well organized and know the plan, and the, dispersing times and the emergency plans, rescue missions, contingency. There must be everything mapped out, and your marshals should know that as a leader of a protest. And you must be ready to take photos or video of any police brutality or other abuses. Oh my word, I didn't know you can actually do that.
Yeah, actually,
because I was always afraid to take pictures. Whenever I saw police doing things, I'd be like, and I just ran.
To do that.
Oh wow.
It's proof of police brutality. So if you were unfairly beaten or arrested or whatnot, you have proof for people to know I was in the right, they were in the wrong. Yeah.
Wonderful. It also says here that no matter what the law says about your rights, if police demand that you do something and are threatening to arrest you or beat you up, do what they say. Keeping yourself and your comrades safe should be your first priority.
Highlighting that, do what they say.
Do what they say. Do not do otherwise.
I know this policeman, you will get arrested just for saying that. So you might as well just do what they say.
If they say freeze, freeze.
Freeze.
Yeah, but I'm glad that you can actually take, video footage of them if they're being brutal or unfair to you. That can actually be used against them, because that's actually not how it should go. That's wonderful. And it also says here at the end that you must make sure you have lawyers, journalists, or other comrades who you can call or SMS if you need help.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there are actually useful contacts here at the end of this useful pamphlet. The Right to Know campaign, their national number is 073-904-1626, 073-904-1626, and there's also a legal resources center. They have hotlines for Johannesburg, Cape Town, Durban, and Grahamstown. There's also Center for Applied Legal Studies. Their number is 011-717-8600. 011-717-8600. There's so many useful contacts here. There's even probono.org, and I think they do your cases for free and whatnot, depending on the extent of the case and the brutality and what was involved. It's awesome.
Yeah, so whenever you guys feel like you're ready for a strike, make sure to download Your Right to Protest Activist Guide. It tells you everything you need to know about strike before actually going into a strike. So make sure it gives understanding the Regulation of Gatherings Act, arrests, and court processes.
Yes.
So make sure that you go into a strike knowing pros and cons of it, ne? Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, it's been a wonderful morning. It's been indeed a wonderful morning. It is 10:04 here on the capital city of entertainment, Q-Lit. It is still Ulaki and the beautiful, the lovely, the melanated Tobeka. Wow. It's a beautiful morning, even though the weather is not cooperating. Do you know? It's not cooperating. It's not working with us, and that's breaking my heart. It's breaking my heart.
I actually enjoy weather like this, ne?
Why?
Kind of indoors vibey kind of thing.
Indoors
I'm alone.
vibey.
Yeah,
And
I like my own space.
well, it is the month of love. It is a nice excuse to do the things. We're not promoting anything, but yeah, to do the things. So yeah.
Right after the song, we are going to tell you about the advantages and disadvantages of strikes. So I hope you guys enjoy.
Yebo. Make sure you got a comment. Let me listen to it and make sure it has no profanity.
Something beautiful. Selling a drink. Smoking mirrors keep us waiting on a miracle. On a miracle. Go through the darkest of days, having to heartbreak away. Never let you go, never let me down. Oh, it's been a hell of a ride.
since I left the city, you got a reputation for yourself now. Everybody knows and I feel left out. Girl, you got me down, you got me stressed out. Cause ever since I left the city, you started wearing less and going out more. Glasses of champagne out on the dance floor. Hanging with some girls I never seen before. You used to call me on my cell phone. Late night when you need my love. Call me on my cell phone. Late night when you need my love. I know when that hotline bling, you can only mean one thing. I know when that hotline bling, you can only mean one thing. Ever since I left the city, you and me, we just don't get along. You make me feel like I did you wrong. Going places where you don't belong. Ever since I left the city, you got exactly what you asked for. Running out of pages in your passport. Hanging with some girls I've never seen before. You used to call me on my cell phone. Late night when you need my love. Call me on my cell phone. Late night when you need my love. And I know when that hotline bling, that can only mean one thing. I know when that hotline bling, that can only mean one thing. These days all I do is wonder if you're bending over backwards for someone else. Wonder if you're rolling up a backwards for someone else. Doing things I taught you getting nasty for someone else. You don't need no one else. You don't need nobody else. No. Why you never alone? Why you always touch a road? Used to always stay at home, be a good girl. You was in the zone. Yeah. You should just be yourself. Right now you're someone else. You used to call me on my cell phone. Late night when you need my love. Call me on my cell phone. Late night when you need my love. And I know when that hotline bling, that can only mean one thing. I know when that hotline bling, that can only mean one thing. Ever since I left the city.
It's frozen. It was frozen.
Now,
It was frozen for like 10 seconds.
I'm waiting for it.
You're taking us back.
Huh? Well, that was Double Play with a DJ Snake, Let Me Love You featuring Justin Bieber and Drake, Hotline Bling.
Because it's the Drizzy.
Juicy Drake.
Drizzy
But
Drake.
Drake never gets, I feel like Drake never fades. He's
Yeah.
like consistent.
Yeah, his consistency is amazing and it's wonderful. It is turn 13 on the Heat section. We're the capital city of entertainment, and this is Q Lit. You're still chilling with Lucky and Utobek on the baddest show on the block, and we're gonna be with you up until 11 o'clock. We've been talking all things student protests, and we haven't been getting comments. And someone on social media who would like to remain anonymous just told me that people don't want to comment because they don't want to implicate themselves. And he had this to say. He said that he thinks protests are a good thing because they allow for a table to be set, for issues to be discussed, for issues to be dealt with, and they keep leaders accountable. And grievances that go unresolved demand protesting action. He thinks for the student community, protesting has been a good thing, despite the many bad sides of it. Yeah.
It's a platform for one's voice to be heard.
Yeah, it is indeed a platform. So you
we're going to be talking about advantages and disadvantages. We're going to tackle the advantages first. So, 1, it gives people the chance to tell their side of the story.
Yes,
Like
most
giving them a
definitely.
platform.
Yeah, it gives them a platform to discuss their issues, to tell on what has been bothering them, on what has been unresolved, on what has not been dealt with. And South Africa has had a lot of service delivery protests. Service delivery protests, and it was actually dubbed the protest capital of the world by this other guy on an academic paper. It's just that I can't find his name. Anyway, but yeah, he dubbed it the protest capital of the world back in like 2004 because there was more and more protest happening, and it wasn't just the student side of it. It was the service delivery side of things as well, and it was amazing for changing things. But however, it also led to a lot of violence, police brutality, and conflict. So yeah. But we are talking about the advantages. The advantages is that it gives people a platform. Hey, we'll go into the disadvantages in a bit, but advantages. 2,
be helpful in making progress if it's peaceful. Peaceful struggles normally comes with progress, right?
Yeah.
If strikes normally land in... I feel like it depends, on how
it depends.
The strikes
is organized and...
how it happened. Because sometimes if it becomes violent and it becomes non-peaceful, at least at the end they are heard and there's things done from that. But then sometimes the bad part about this is that a lot of people get hurt.
Yeah, and it is indeed heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking because people get hurt. And I remember the leader of the Fees Must Fall, student protest. Dealt with a lot of personal struggles following the Fees Must Fall stint. He could not do a lot of things, and I think he was jailed for some time.
He was.
And it's awful. Tina, we are here continuing with our studies. He fought for us with his comrades, but he was jailed for some time.
Unfair,
and it is.
He has a criminal record now for fighting for students that are carrying out with their studies and everything, and then he's stuck with a criminal record now for the rest of his life.
Which is awful.
I feel like if you are in the SRC or you are part of a strike and you're one of those people who are leading a strike, I say big up to you guys. You are putting a lot
brave.
on the line.
It is an act of bravery because people are cowards out there. They don't want to put their lives and their academic futures and their careers on the line. They'd much rather step back and watch how everything unfolds. So if you're a leader and you actually lead the strike and you fight and you speak for the people, even though you know that there might be heinous consequences, big ups to you. Indeed, big ups to you.
I feel like you are brave enough to fight for people who are afraid to fight for themselves, ne?
Yeah. And this started with Omar Diba, Nelson Mandela, because he was one of those people that was brave enough to fight. I actually watched a portion of his speech a couple of years ago. I've even forgotten most of it, but a portion of his speech at the Rivonia trial, where he said, "I fought
domination."
That one. I don't know if it's the one at the end of apartheid or if it was during the trial. But I listened to I have fought against white domination, black domination, and whatnot speech, and it was powerful, man. It was like all the power of the people was coming through him, and he was just projecting it to the oppressors, and they had no choice but to listen to him. So if you're a leader of a protest, big ups to you.
Big ups.
And if you're just an ordinary civilian or student, if there is a protest and it has, potential benefits for you, participate in it. We have just outlined the ways in which you can participate in a strike legally. If it's a legal strike action, participate in it. At the end, it's going to benefit all of us.
I think more people are afraid of what might happen during the strike. Because you know how always peaceful strikes end up being
violent?
They
often escalate.
So a lot of people are afraid to actually participate because they're like, and then what if we get shot and whatnot? But then it's unfair for those who are actually, they are fighting on your behalf.
And putting their lives on the line for you, and you're going to benefit, and they're going to be the ones stuck with criminal records, with, dim futures and whatnot. And it's unfair. It's unfair.
They used to say in school, one for all, what? One for all, one? All for one. One for all for one.
Divided we fall, united we stand. That. We conquer. So if you know anything about strikes that you would like to share with us, be sure to hit us up on our social media links. On Facebook, it's Q-Lit. On Twitter, it's Q_Lit Radio. Instagram, it's Q_Lit_Radio. And we're also available on WhatsApp. You can send us a voice note or send us a comment at 071705 3043, 071705 3043, and interact with us and tell tell us what you think about strikes. Our question for the day was, do you think that protesting can be a good thing if it's by students? If so, how so? If not, why not?
We would like to hear your opinions on the matter.
Yebo. I'm hearing all of these dancing songs in my head. I don't know what's happening.
Let's make
But
you
yeah.
dance.
Yeah, make me dance. Make me dance. Oh my word.
I'm mad, but I ain't stressing. True friends.
Play.
One question. Where you and I was walking. Now I run again, got the whole world talking. King Kunta.
This
Everybody
thing
wanna
is
cut
pressed
the
there
legs off.
accidentally.
By itself.
Man taking no
This thing is
loss.
going
No, I need to this thing.
Where you and I was walking. Now I run again, got the whole world talking. King Kunta. Everybody wanna cut the legs off. When you got the yams. The yam is the power that beat. You can smell it when I'm walking down the street. I can dig rapping, but a rapper with a ghost rider. What the happened? I swore I wouldn't tell. But most of y'all sharing bars like you got to buy the bunk in a 2 minute say. Something's in the water. And if I got a brown nose for some gold, then I'd rather be a bum than a bar. Where you and I was walking. Now I run again, got the whole world talking. King Kunta. Everybody wanna cut the legs off. King Kunta. Black man taking no loss. Where you and I was walking. Now I run again, got the whole world talking. King Kunta. Everybody wanna cut the legs off. When you got the yams. The yam running out of Richard Pryor. Manipulated Bill Clinton with desires. 24/7, 365 days times 2. I was contemplating getting off stage just to go back to the hood, see my enemy say. Where you and I was walking. Now I run again, got the whole world talking. King Kunta. Everybody wanna cut the legs off. King Kunta. Black man taking no loss. Where you and I was walking. Now I run again, got the whole world talking. King Kunta. Everybody wanna cut the legs off.
You goat mouth mammoth.
I was gonna kill a couple rappers, but they did it themselves. Everybody's suicidal, they didn't even need my help. This elementary, I'd probably go to jail if I shoot at your identity and bounce to the left, stuck a flag in my city. Everybody screaming Compton, I should probably run from mayor when I'm done. To be honest, and I put that on my mama and my baby boo too. 20 million walking out the court, bloody woo woo. Oh yeah, the judge had made it past 25, and now I was a little nappy headed with the world behind him. Life ain't but a family. Jimmy, Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Limo tinted with the gold plate straight from the band. It's the belly of the beast, from a peasant to a prince to a king. Oh yeah. Where you and I was walking.
By the time you hear the next pop, the folk shall be within you.
Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta. Everybody wanna cut the legs off. King Kunta. Black man taking no loss. Where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta. Everybody wanna cut the legs off.
I'll take a sip. Yeah, that was Kendrick Lamar with King Kunta. King Kunta. He's one of my favorite rappers, by the way. Oh my word. It is 10:23. You're still chilling with us on the capital city of entertainment. Like you know, Tobega, up until 11 o'clock. This is the heat section. We're getting lit. We're getting heated up. You're gonna not want to miss the rest of the conversation because we've been talking about so much. If you've just tuned in, thank you so much for joining us. We've been talking about protesting, student protesting.
Strikes.
Yo, and it's been lit. We've covered everything from how it's a right to protest and how you go about exercising that right, the history of protesting in our
And
country,
protocol,
and
how-
you know
You go
Protocol,
about.
guys. There's protocol. You know, you can't just be doing things and waking up. I'm going to the streets to fight. No, there are actually ways of doing it. We said earlier that you have to give notice, a memorandum of sorts, and well in advance. You know, 7 days before. And if you can't have the 7 days notice, then 48 hours. Yeah.
We are going to recap right after the whole session. But right about now, we are going to dive into disadvantages of this strike.
Yeah, well.
Right. You need police to observe the
police need to observe the situation.
The police need to observe during the process, but you need to pay for them, and they are not cheap. So in order to have a strike, you need to ask the police to also be there just in case things get out of hand, but they are paid to do that. So that's also a disadvantage of strikes. They're not cheap. Did you know that you have to pay for police to actually be there?
I'm flabbergasted.
Yeah.
I'm flabbergasted. Listeners, I'm just as shocked as you are.
Great.
Yes.
If it turns into a violent protest, then the place that you protest at might not allow any more protests.
Which might disadvantage future generations.
Yeah, for example, maybe let's say the MEP shut down and they go and strike at the municipal grounds and areas
the municipal offices and whatnot.
If they feel like it was too violent, if you are ever caught there ever again trying to strike, it's finished.
Poof, gone. You are finished.
Yeah. 3. If it goes south, lots of people will get hurt or worse. True.
Yeah. And most protests often go south. They do.
Like how many protests do you know of that like went proper? Like from peaceful strike and then grievances were heard?
Honestly, I can't think of any. Almost every protest that I've been to, well, I haven't been to many, but the few that I've been to, they've been escalating.
Yeah.
It always escalates at some point, and there's tear gas, there's rubber bullets, there is, there was actually a protest back in Gauteng. But I was young then, I don't remember all the details, but there was a teacher's protest in I think it was 2008 or was it 7?
Wow, yeah.
Across the country, man, when teachers were striking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember all the details, but I remember it was very harmful to our education because most of the academic program was not covered as it should have been that year, and it was just awful. I'm a 90s will remember, guys.
Hey, man.
Hey, we've been through that. Hey, we've been through a lot, guys. Yo. But anyway, protesting is a good thing in the nutshell. To voice out your opinions, your grievances, your suggestions for the administration or the leadership that you are under. However, you have to keep in mind that it can escalate very, very quickly, and that's why you need to prepare yourself accordingly. Make sure that your protest is indeed legal. Yeah, the legality of your protest is something that is very important because you don't want to catch yourself with an unnecessary criminal record. Yeah. And we did say that if you're the leader of a protest, props to you because they often escalate.
If anything goes south,
you're liable for everything. They know you as the leader of the movement, and if you
they follow your lead.
And sometimes they don't follow your lead. They go against your word, and you still fall for it anyway because you are
not organized the strike in the first place.
Oh my word. Protesting is a lot, and it breaks my heart that in our country, in order to settle matters, most of the time, we have to protest.
And be violent. And
waste our time. Yeah. Productive time. I mean, this load shedding thing.
There's no other language that they understand.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So,
yeah, you're absolutely right. I don't think most officials understand any other language besides violence, which is heartbreaking because our brothers and sisters often get caught up in situations that ruin their futures. Yeah. Sometimes you have studied, you have a wonderful degree, but you can't get employed anyway because of that one teensy little mistake that you made during a protest back in your student days, and it just sucks, So be mindful of what you do. We're not saying do not participate, but be well educated. Know the protocol of a strike. Know if the one that you're participating in is legal. Know the advantages of the strike. Know the disadvantages. Be familiar with the memorandum. Don't just throw yourself into things you don't know anything about,
So make sure that you are briefed before engaging in any sort of strikes. Like right now, we are experiencing MAP shutdown here.
Yeah,
Makata.
the MAP shut down.
So you as a student, you just can't go there. I'm joining the strike when you don't even know what was spoken about.
Sometimes you don't even stay here. You don't know what it's all about. Yes, don't put yourself in things that you know nothing about. But yeah, we acknowledge that protests can be a good thing. It is actually said here, there was actually a comment that I was reading when I was reading an article earlier. It was talking about if fees must fall.
Yeah.
It says that fees must fall is about how a democracy deals with a history of oppression. It's about healing broken bones, about a generation's phantom limbs and its children refusing amputation. Wow, what a metaphor. Haibo, ha, wow. And this was by one of the leaders of the protests after the initial leader was caught.
Yeah.
It is an article on Daily Maverick. You can go read it. It was published 3 years ago by Greg Nicholson. It is 10:28. You're chilling with us on the capital city of entertainment, Q-Lit. This is the heat section. We're getting heated up. It's Tobeka and Lucky with you up until 11 o'clock. We've been talking about student protests and how to keep yourself safe during those, and make sure that, you're doing it for the right reasons. And that's been wonderful.
Protocol.
Yo. Anyway, we gotta head into some because we got you with the good music and we're gonna, push you. We're gonna push you into a wonderful morning. We want you to conclude this morning only on a high, a musical high. I mean, I love music. It makes me tingle. It makes me feel like, yeah, I'm the man. Yo.
I know you're out of my league, but that
We have
was
another comment.
Finish. Go ahead,
way
Can I read that one?
You've carried on so long, you couldn't stop if you tried it.
Oh, and don't forget the one by Fundo, but don't say his name.
You've
When
built
he said we
your
love
wall so
striking,
high
laughing emoji.
that
And then
no
it
one
says-
could climb
Let's
it.
we're gonna take a break and do
Yeah.
But I'm gonna try. Would you let me see beneath your beautiful? Would you let me see beneath your perfect? Take it out now, girl. Take it out now, girl. I wanna see inside. Would you let me see beneath your beautiful tonight?
You let all the girls go. Makes you feel good, don't it? Behind your Broadway show, I heard a voice say, "Please don't hurt me." You carried on so long, you couldn't stop if you tried. You built your wall so high, no one could climb it. But I'm gonna try. Would you let me see beneath your beautiful? Would you let me see beneath your perfect? Take it off now, boy. Take it off now, boy. I wanna see inside. Would you let me see beneath your beautiful tonight? See beneath, I'm gonna climb until you're ivory town. I'll hold your hand and look you right out. That's okay.
I'll be right here.
I just wanna know.
See beneath your beautiful. Would you let me See beneath your perfect. Take it off now, Lord.
It's
Take
another
it off
thing.
now, God. I wanna see inside. What you let
Summarize what we talked about today. The song
see beneath your
But I think
beautiful.
we also put on the spot.
Yeah, after it's now at 45. So now it's just gonna summarize.
We ain't perfect, we ain't perfect.
Take us back.
What you let me see beneath your beautiful tonight.
And that was Emily Sunday, A Labyrinth. I don't know if I'm even pronouncing his name right. Labyrinth. But yeah, that. I love the song, by the way. I love the song. That was a beautiful song by Emily Sunday, Beneath You Beautiful, 10:34. Hey, we're coming to that part.
Don't
We're coming to
depress
that
me,
part.
Nick. It's not even Ukwara too, so don't depress me. We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna do that.
I'm
Hey,
already hyperventilating. It's the capital city of entertainment, Q-Layer, heat section. Anyway, anywho, we've got a couple of comments from social media.
Yeah, from Facebook. I'm gonna make this person anonymous, ne?
Yeah.
So remain anonymous.
Anonymous.
OT anonymous. We love striking. Full stop. I'm not even gonna dwell on that.
Yeah, with a laughing emoji, by the way. Yeah.
Right. And we also have another comment from anonymous as well.
Yes.
Right? And they say no. The question was, do you think that protesting by students can be a good thing? If so, how so? If not, why not? And the response was no. During the protest, one might end up in prison, and this might have a negative impact on their careers. And yes, because there's no other language that management understands better than the so-called Solomon language. Right. Solomon language meaning striking, violent striking, not the normal striking, but the violent striking. What is your take on the Solomon challenge?
No comment.
Is it not sad? Ukuthi it has become a challenge now. Not that we're voicing our opinions. Then if we need to be heard, we need to strike. There's no other way, because we know if it's a sit down, nothing is going to be resolved. So the Solomon challenge needs to be brought about. Is that not sad?
It is kind of sad because I remember some of the leaders of the MAP shutdown were complaining Uguti. They are not taken seriously by the leaders. Leaders are like, we're above you, we have these positions and these titles. We will not negotiate with kids.
Yeah.
So we're just going to put it here and then this is where it ends. And it's kind of heartbreaking.
And especially with the MAP shutdown, how many times have they striked that?
Yo, it's
Do we
been
have any
happening ever since the beginning of the year. Oh, it's been happening. Oh,
Do we have any water?
and we still don't have water. We just have, water tanks. Yeah, water tanks. We have water tanks. And they've been operating wonderfully so far, so good. So we commend the team behind that. Thank you very much. But it's really heartbreaking that we have to fight so much,
There's
for
like-
progress to take place.
There's minimum change. Like
Yeah.
we are getting trucks instead of having. Why can't we have tap water?
Hey, there's a problem with that dam and all of that. I don't even know what's happening, and I stay here. I'm so lost. I'm so lost. Yeah.
Pray for God, guys. We are going
Yeah,
through
pray for water.
a phase.
Pray for water. Pray for water.
A phase
Most
that's
definitely.
taking months now.
Yeah.
So pray for us.
Anywho. Today we spoke about student protests and the impact on society. So today we're just gonna wrap up.
Right. We talked about student protests, what you need to do in order to have a legal strike. Protocol that needs to be followed, who you need to talk to. We also said that you need to have go to your municipality or authorities that you're going to be striking to.
Yes. Yes.
And you need to have a 7 days notice. If it's not a 7 days notice, you need to have at least 48 hours. But you cannot just go there and decide. who
Yeah,
you're
and if
striking.
it's 48
need to
hours,
get
you must
permission.
give reasoning for why it is social
So-
notice.
Yeah.
And we also gave birthday shout outs. So if it's your birthday today, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. You're sharing a birthday with the Charles Darwin, father of evolution. Father of evolution, guys. Yeah.
That evolution.
Data of the evolution, the white man.
Yeah, and we talked about advantages and disadvantages of strikes. We also told you the advantage is that obviously it helps get grievances out and for your voice to be heard with your problems.
And it can affect change.
Disadvantages is that it hurts people. People get hurt. People get arrested. Like, look at this, ne? Isn't there's normally we strike. There's like, let's say, 200 people, ne?
Yes.
But the main people behind the strike, let's say about 5.
Yeah.
From those 5 people, let's say they get arrested, ne? But if now you're caught in the crossfire and you are among the people who are striking at the moment, now it's okay. So strikes are a very sensitive thing, especially for us students. I feel like every time we need something done, we need to strike for it. Like,
Most
can
definitely.
we have an academic year that has no striking in it? It's like,
Yeah, because it affects our academic progress. I don't want to lie, 2019, 2018, our academic performances were affected by, the strikes and marches that were happening and, the sudden shutdowns of the
Yeah.
campus where they would be like to the resident students, you have 2 hours to vacate the residences.
What if
and
I
then
don't
they
have
had to go
money?
off campus to their friends off campus and
you
ask
don't have
for
friends, yeah,
accommodation.
what do you
And if
do?
you don't have friends, then,
you don't have money to go home. What do you do?
yeah, it's a
So,
lot.
yeah,
So
these
before we
strikes are very
strike,
inconveniencing.
we should really think about the benefits behind the strike and we should really think about the legality of it and just the long run. The long run should always be in the picture when we're thinking about protesting.
And our sad reality would be every year there needs to be some sort of.
Yeah, can we make this a year without protesting?
Let's make
Including
it a
the MAP.
challenge.
Yeah, this
no
is a challenge.
Strike, no. So I guess there's a Solomon challenge.
Yeah,
Let's make it a no strike challenge.
no strike challenge. Make it trend. Make it trend, people.
any
Make
universities
it
so
trend
far
on
that-
social media.
Are there any universities so far that have had strikes?
Well, NW University had a thing going on. I don't know the details, but there was something going on there on their campus.
Let's make it a thing, guys.
And yeah,
Let's make it a thing. Can we just have one productive year without any strikes?
I believe that if everything from the NSFAS side and the finances side of things went smoothly for a year, then we
I
would
feel
not
like
have
it
strikes
always
because
has
that's
to do
the
with
main.
money.
Yeah, it's
In
always
your
money.
village is a problem. Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, it's reflecting. It's reflecting. Soon is on email, and we're gonna get our books. Get your books, guys. Get your books.
Shame, what if again year 15 and people are thinking year 14 Valentine's Day?
Hi, it's meant for your books anyway. Even if it gets in on the 15th, use it for your books. What were you gonna do on the 14th?
Hey, stop being a hater.
I'm not a hater. Hi, I'm just keeping it real. I'm keeping it real with y'all. I'm keeping it real that that money is not meant for the things that you're gonna use it for. Anywho, anyway, we're just gonna head into some before we introduce the fabulous, the lovely, the amazing, the talented Kia Mukhetsi, who's gonna be hosting the brunch fest, but she's gonna tell us all about it after the song. Oh yeah. Yebo, 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 yebo. Oh, yebo, 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 yebo. Oh, yebo, yebo, yebo. Yebo, 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 yebo. The song's coming, y'all. The song's coming. We're keeping it real with you. Keeping it real
with you.
Keep it real.
We have Ukama in the house, Ukia in the house today. So Kia, we were talking about student protest. And what is your take on strikes in general? Besides being town strikes or school strikes in general, what's your take on it?
I think sometimes we need to show the people that govern us that we will stand for our rights and what we need. And for example, with the strike that's happening here in Garkwa, I think it's very valid since some people haven't had water for years, and water is a basic
It is indeed a basic need.
Yeah.
So sometimes it is necessary to have strikes and all, I think that's my opinion on that. As long as it doesn't damage anything or, vandalization or anything like that.
Yeah, and it often escalates into, violences and police brutality and all of that. What advice do you have, being a UNICA student, for the first years that are gonna go throw themselves into the strikes and unnecessarily so?
Understand why there's a strike.
Yeah, that's
Understand
important.
What it's for, and if you feel it's what you want to fight for, then go for it. But also be careful, because see, once police get involved, it gets messed up. And when there's no one, like when there's no proper leader within the strike that will be happening, it tends to go out of control. That's when people start to vandalize and everything. So understand what you're fighting for and why you're fighting for that particular thing.
Thank you so much, Kia, for
Wow.
the insight. Yeah.
Wait. Kia gave us a lovely insight about striking on campus. So first year, there you have it. Must keep yourself informed about strikes on campus. Don't just involve yourselves in things that you don't know anything about. And if you know something about it and you want to go for it, but be careful. And I think that's the bone of contention for today's show.
Sure, true.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, we're just gonna play you guys a song and get to Kia in the mood for her show.
Oh. Anywho, we're sorry for the technical difficulties. We're having a bit of technical difficulties in studio right now. Please bear with us, beautiful people. You can hit us up on our social media to give us suggestions on what you would like to have on the show. Our social media handles are Twitter, Q_lit radio, Instagram, Q_lit_ radio. On Facebook, it's Q-lit. Be sure to hit us up and keep the conversation going. Today's question was, do you think that protesting by students can be a good thing? Do hit us up and tell us what you think about that. We've had a lot of anonymous comments. Hey, where's this whore? A lot of anonymous comments from our social media users and our followers, and they told us that in the nutshell it can be a good thing. Most of them were saying that it can be a good thing. You've just got to be careful, which I think was the takeaway from today's show. We spoke about protocol, we spoke about keeping it real, keeping it real. You must know what a strike is about. You must know how police are going to be involved in the strike. You must know if there was a memorandum to begin with, and if there is a memorandum, what it was all about.
Right.
Anyway, we're going to head into song right now. So enjoy the great music by Lady Zamar.
Right, we are just going to wrap up our show today. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. We enjoyed being with you today.
The system is messing our flow. No. Lady Zamar, this is love.
This is Love by Lady Zama. Sorry guys for the technical glitches. We were having problems here in studio.
Yeah, we
But
apologize for the
yeah.
technical problems. They've been sorted out now. So, Gia, can you tell us about Brunch Fest today? What can we expect from Brunch Fest today?
Today on the Brunch Fest, I'll be telling you guys about how Valentine's came to be. Valentine's, and we'll also be talking about how other relationships like friendships or siblings or family, how they celebrate their Valentine's Day. Because yesterday we talked about relationships, remember? As in romantic relationships. So now we're talking about certain other relationships in our lives, but how those people celebrate their Valentine's Day. And for the other segment, we are talking STDs and STIs. We spoke about it yesterday, but it was brief. Yeah. So today we're delving more into that, and
Yeah, and I think you've got a wonderful show. That's important. STIs and love, and I'm looking forward to the show. Anything else you can tell us about the show, today's show, before we wrap up our show? Because
whoever wants to hear more about what I'll be talking about has to stay tuned.
Stay tuned to the Brunch Fest with the Kiamukhetsi from 11 up until 1 o'clock, right? Yes. And Tina, we are about to wrap up our show. And we are heartbroken. We're heartbroken that we have to leave. And we thank you for interacting with us on social media. We love the interaction. We thank you for tuning in. It has been a wonderful show here on the capital city of entertainment, Q-Lit. We are the heat section. We were getting lit up and heated up today, talking about I'm a strike.
Yeah.
The
So
good, the bad, and the ugly.
I hope you guys were educated on that, and I'm pretty sure if you have, we told you the site. What was the site that we downloaded the document from?
The Right to Know.
The Right to Know.
Yes.
So if you want to know more about strikes and how to go about dealing with strikes and anything that you need to wait for in order to go into a strike, download that form. It's very helpful. It's a PDF document that you can just read, and it informs you about everything that you need to know about strikes.
And it won't even take that long, like maybe 30 minutes, 15 at most. You just browse through the document and familiarize yourself with what you need to know for Ama Strike from Uthabek and Nolaki here at the Heat Section. We thank you very much for tuning in, and tune in tomorrow from 9 to 11 o'clock. The Heat Section here at the capital city of entertainment. Nayingoma, guys. Enjoy.
Bye.
The breakfast team, how angry they were when they left the
Dia ponu tiki wendi